like I should have had that drink earlier. In 1989, I was an emotional preteen Jersey girl, obsessed with Madonna, cheerleading, and boys. I was also financially challenged and dealing with divorcing parents. So maybe it was a little bit of mom guilt, but my mother was surprisingly supportive of me, my latest heartthrob obsession, especially since she was Catholic and conservative. But she would do anything to get me to move on from my Madonna phase, especially after she saw the Like a Prayer video on MTV. Now, the pop star that was like totally blowing my mind was Jordan Knight of New Kids on the Block. Yes, the biggest boy band since the Beatles at the time. Now, Jordan wasn't just talented, he was also a Taurus, which was the perfect match for a Capricorn like me, according to Teen Beat magazine. Now, one day, I convinced my mom to drive 2 hours to an amusement park where they would be performing. And when we got there, we were told that the concert was already at capacity. I cried in devastation, hearing that, oh, 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 in the background, knowing I was not going to meet my future husband on that day. Somehow, my mom got the money for tickets for us to go see them at the Spectrum in Philly later that year. And although I could only see his silhouette on stage, I was still happy that I was like breathing the same air as Jordan. Now, eventually the band disbanded and their stardom faded, but Jordan remained forever etched in my heart. Now, fast forward 20 years, I fall in love, I get married, it ends after 2 years unexpectedly. I should have known that it was doomed. After all, he was a Leo. But in all seriousness, I really was absolutely devastated. I was mortified, embarrassed, ashamed, all the words, right? But I was still in this moment of needing something to get over. And it took nearly a year for this divorce to finalize. So by the time that it did, I was ready to celebrate. And I had an entire weekend planned. And it was kicking off with a concert at the Fillmore in Miami Beach with none other than the reunited New Kids on the Block. Now, my friend Michelle had told me about the concert, and she was a huge New Kid fan. She also was my hype girl for the weekend, right? So, and don't worry, her favorite was Danny, not Jordan. So there was no competition there. So I scored these last-minute VIP tickets, and my cousin came with me, and we were going to be right in front, right? So we get there early. I don't know if you know about the Fillmore, but you have standing room in the front. So we got there, and I'm waiting for this moment because I have been waiting all my life for Jordan to look into my eyes and sing to me in his signature falsetto voice about how he'd be loving me forever. And so, but Michelle was like texting me, right? She was in a different section. She's like, come to the bar. We're hanging out back here. And I'm like, no way, girl, I'm in VIP. I'm not leaving here. But she kept texting me and just guilt-tripping me. And I started to feel like this bridezilla that wanted everything to be about me and what I wanted. Like, after all, it was my divorce, But so, eventually I just kind of gave up. And I was like, you know what? I'm obviously not good at life, and I'm failing at these things. So I just decided to go. So we go back and hang out with her at the bar. And, we're having some drinks, having a good time, but I'm silently sulking, thinking I should have never left the VIP. And then all of a sudden, I see Jordan jump off the stage into the crowd and step by step make his way to this raised platform right next to the bar. And this is when time stood still. I start marching my way to him like a zombie ready to eat him alive. And I get to him, and it happens. He looks directly into my eyes as if to say, "Hey girl, I see you." And then he jumps down right in front of me, and my hands cling to his shoulders like magnets. And as he tries to make his way back to the stage, they slide down his chiseled chest until he finally escapes my grasp. And at this point, I've lost all control over my body. My eyes are like filled with tears. My knees are weak. My hands are permanently in a bird claw position. And I make my way back to the group, and Michelle looks at me and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I begin to describe to them the most magical moment of my life. And all she hears come out of my voice is, "Ah!" Now, I admit, that night I turned into a 12-year-old crazed, obsessed fangirl. But who knew that stepping away from the stage would be this blessing in disguise, right? Apparently, groping your favorite pop star is like the emotional release that you need to get past a year of pain. So I really did feel like I was reborn in that moment. I just had like this renewed confidence and strength and just happiness and joy. And I had Michelle to thank for that. I also had her to thank for helping me to meet my love of 10 years. I have to tell you, his name is not Jordan, but he is a Taurus. Thank you.
Let's keep it going for Amy.